what you guys just witnessed right there was me doing my first natural show. Now, you're probably wondering why the naturals in parentheses. I'll tell you all about it. But let me tell you, man, Miami was beautiful and very convenient. Like the location, the hotel that I was at, very, very convenient. Like Whole Foods was like 2 minutes away. There was a Publix like 15 minutes away. So, and lots of foods, bars, restaurants, you name it, all in like the strip and within like a 10, 15-minute walking distance. So overall, the location of the hotel I stayed at was very convenient, and it was a beautiful scenery, as you guys saw in the beginning of the intro. But moving forward, I'm going to be talking about the show. So I must say, the show was very humbling. It was a very humbling experience. And, going to the show, I've been telling a lot of people this, it was unknown. There was a lot of unknown answers going into the show. And as for some of you that have been following me on this journey, whether it be in person or you know me, there was a lot of unknown answers that I was trying to figure out as the journey went on. But, most of the times I'll get responses like, I'll get back to you, or I'll let you know when I find out more. And sometimes it'll be like 2, 3, maybe a month after I ask that question, and I'll get a response. So at that point, I kind of just given up on figuring out like all about the show, and I just kind of just focus on myself and just focus on what me and my coach need to do to get myself mostly ready for the competition. So the first thing unknowingly going into the competition was kind of the weight cap. I was going off the first show I ever did, going off 217. That was supposed to be the target that we were going for. Well, 3 weeks before the show, we found out it was going to be like 232. So, 217 and 232, that's a very big difference. So when my stage weight was 223, so once we figured it out, we kind of just kept it there. All I had to focus on was just getting drier and leaner and the meat count to the best as I can. Second thing unknowingly go into it was with me doing the first natural show and winning it, I thought that would correlate or carry over to the pro level of being natural. Well, that wasn't really the case, and that's why the parentheses is naturals in parentheses, because going to there was no testing. So I was going against, pretty much the big dogs, and, had a little help. Again, there's nothing against those guys, because, again, guys, like, before you guys knock on it or anything like that, it's part of the sport. That's what bodybuilding is and things like that. That's why there's 2 different federations. That's why this is natural, and then you got NPC, IFBB, all those type of federations. And, people want to go for it, all by means, go for it. It's their life, it's their choice. So you can't knock or go against it or say, like, well, that's not fair. It's like, again, for placing 3rd place overall, competing against them and things, I think it was a very accomplishment for me to, and again, a humbling experience for me to compete against those guys. And also, to being my first pro level show, I'm not complaining one single bit or get discouraged. Yeah, for the people who have been following me, when I did post about my medals, the face didn't look as happy as it was. Because, when you're in that moment in time, you find out that, you let the emotions build up. Because, like, at the time when I got, like, 3rd place, I let the emotions build up. And I was thinking, like, all the hard work I did comes down to one thing. And the third unknowingly was kind of like figuring out the poses. Like, throughout the time of the posing practice, we were mostly posing, like, natural federation poses that we'll call out. Would be able to mandatories, the core turns, and like both sides, and mandatories of like right side and left side. So we were practicing that, and the one pose that really got me was the vacuum pose. And for y'all that don't know the vacuum pose, it's where you pretty much suck in your stomach, and you got the rib cage mostly showcase, and the stomach is very deep inside your rib cage. So I knew how to do a little bit, but I didn't knew it wasn't fully to the judges' liking that it was pleasing them, and that's why they docked me automatically at 3rd place. So that was another thing. So once, being on stage, and that was the first pose being called out, and I tried my best to execute that pose, but unfortunately it wasn't to their liking. After I got off the stage, I was very discouraged because, again, like, I put in so much time, so much effort, all the hard work to get myself ready for that show, just to come down to that one pose to place me automatically third place. So that was another like unknown thing. But besides all the unknown answers going into the show, I was very grateful for the opportunity and very blessed to showcase what I've been working towards to, especially from the first show to this show. Like, I'm very grateful in the response of the package it brought to this show compared to the last show. And creating this package, I had a lot of things go on the journey. First thing was getting the septoplasty surgery on my nose, so that took me out for about 10 days, and then probably I was another a week or two of light training where I couldn't go really heavy just to recover from the surgery. So give about 3 to 4 weeks I was taken out, and then the sun's setting, and after that I experienced some gut health issues, and I don't know what really caused it. I think there's a couple things I could boil down to it. One being I was pretty much eating like a lot of bread, like English muffins of bread, oatmeal too, every single day, and I think my body wasn't really propped with that consumption of yeast. So I think I acquired a yeast infection / candida, and on top with the antibiotics of the surgery, it just didn't really sit well. So after I got once I kind of recovered from the surgery, did my gut start acting up? So I had to spend another 2 weeks off, kind of re-change my diet a little bit to heal my gut in a way, and to kind of back off the foods that I was doing before, to let my gut heal up and get like back to normal, and then revamp it back up again. So that was another thing that went along my journey. On top of that too, I did a lot of traveling. It was mostly for bachelor parties and weddings. So, and that was from like end of April to beginning of June. So 6 weeks of traveling, going back and forth. Mostly I stay, 90% on par with my nutrition. There'd be times where I would like go on trips. I didn't have my meals, or I didn't bring my scales, so I didn't know how much I was actually eating. So that was like another factor. But for the most part, I didn't drink. I didn't like go out to eat. If they wanted to go out to eat, I pretty much stay consistent with my diet. Even working out too. That was the first thing I do when I go somewhere, is I find a gym before anything else. So my workouts, my workouts were great. Nutrition was mostly on par. So I couldn't complain about that. And also on top of that, I only dieted for 12 weeks. For being natural, you want to diet for at least 16 to 24 weeks, mostly 20 to 24, as you want to diet. So for me, only dieting for 12 weeks, and the package that I brought to the show, I was very blessed how well my body responded. And just to almost be on stage at 85% and placing third, I'm very grateful for it. So moving forward, also too, before I get to moving forward, after the show, as you guys saw, I did grab some pizza and some breadsticks. So that was an 18-inch pizza and 8 breadsticks. I'll tell you what, if you ever been in Miami, you go to Rock Boys Pizza. They got some bomb pizza and breadsticks, and just overall food quality too. So ate all that stuff, and then also I had like 4 scoops of gelato ice cream afterwards as my dessert. Again, I'm a fat kid at heart, so I was really looking forward to my sweets. And as you saw from the video, I only gained 6 pounds from it. So kind of, not want to say I look better, but like I look more fuller after having all that. But that's all what the carbs do to you. But moving forward, after really recollecting myself and really looking throughout the whole process of the journey through the first show to the second show, I was very, again, I was just very grateful for the response, the opportunity, and the showcase of the hard work I put in. So after recollecting all that, moving forward, I know what I want to do into doing more shows. So for the future, I am going to be doing more bodybuilding shows, we're going to be figuring out what the day is and things like that. So right now we're just kind of in off season. So with that being said, I'm just going to be kind of mostly slowly reverse dieting back into my true maintenance, which is my maintenance around 4,400. And this last week, going back into, I was at 3,450, and moving to this week, which is 9/18, I'm at 3,650. So I'm slowly increasing my calories up every 200 every week, get myself back into maintenance, and also too, where I don't blow up like a balloon, I can still maintain my abs and stay lean on top of that. So, and that's the goal moving forward in the future, or for these future shows, is I'm not going to push myself like I've been doing before, like 250 or 255. I'm going to stay around 240, 245, stay around there, because I want to train my body, kind of stay lean and conditioned, because that's the one thing I've not gotten into going to the show is being conditioned. So I want to train my body to learn how to do that. So when I do go in the prep phase of cutting, whether it's 20, 24 weeks, I don't have to kill myself like I've been doing these past two shows of like first show losing 20 pounds in 5 weeks. This show kind of losing about 20 pounds, in 12 weeks, which is doable. But again, it's not like you're going to like subjectize, some muscle mass. So this time around, I want to make sure I stay lean year round. And so when I get into the cut mode, it's not as devastating to my body, because I realize my body does not like a drastic cut. So I want to ease the cut into it this time. And the mindset is still going to stay the same. I got a very clear focus on what I want to do, what I want to work on. Training is going to be a little bit different, especially for the off season. Off season going to be focused more on old school lifting. I'm just going to focus more on compounds that involve like with barbells, dumbbells, like rows, squats, benches, deadlifts, you name it. So I'm going to stick with more of those. And for the future comments, I will post those videos of what I do on a weekly basis, kind of vlog it for you guys, just kind of see what I'm doing, give you guys a sense, like being natural is like, okay, like you can still do the same work and still get the same results and same physique without having to go the route that, some of these kids or other people are doing. Again, if you need it, so be it. Again, if you want to go on, it's your choice, it's your body. So with that being said, that was the overall show, and I'm really looking forward to the future of the shows and the future of what my body has to come forward. But I'll keep you guys updated.